Hello, you beautiful people. Dr. Kelly here with our second day of our Made to Move challenge. And today we're talking about sleep. So, with every day of this challenge, we're going to go back to the week before and review it and reflect on it before we start this week. And then we'll plan for challenges that are upcoming this week. So, last week we wrote down an identity statement and we said that I'm the type of person who, because every action we take is a vote in the ballot box for the type of person that we want to become. So if we tie these habits to our identity, now we can start placing votes. So go back and rewrite your sentence or your statement from last week. I'm a person who, whatever it was. And if you're joining us for the first time, make that decision. And that's a big one. So pause this and think about it. And you can always go back and change it. But we have to start somewhere with this. I'll give you mine. Mine is I'm a person who is an example of health, vitality, and resilience to millions of people. Now, I'm going to go live my life in such a way, and I'm not going to be perfect, where I can vote for that person. I'm going to take actions this week, like I did last week, to put votes in the ballot box for that type of person. So now take a couple minutes and write down the behaviors that you showed last week that did that put votes in the ballot box for the type of person that was. Again, you can pause here and do that. I'm going to give you a little tangent and a little background on sleep because it's important to have a why here. Now, you all know sleep is important, and we've grown up and lived in a culture where we've glorified the all-nighter. And we've decided that sleep is for lazy people and naps are a European thing. We don't need to do that here in America because we just work hard throughout the whole day. Think about a time where you didn't sleep well and how you were the next day. And tell me that's not looking at a microcosm of a bigger issue of if we don't sleep enough, we are going to be unhealthy. Right? I'm grumpy if I don't sleep enough. So is my toddler. So is everyone in my family. Everyone I know, all of my friends. We're grumpy if we don't sleep enough. It's our body's way of telling us, please go to sleep. Please rest. So, sleep's the time where our body repairs and rebuilds and regenerates and it heals. I tell every patient I've started to, I'm not going to out rehab crappy sleep. I'm not going to. I can make your shoulder feel better for a couple of days. I can make your hip pain go away for a few months. If we don't get to the foundation, the cause of why this is hurting, it's just going to come back. And the absolute foundation for healing and tissue repair is sleep. Is why babies have to sleep so much. Is why toddlers have to sleep so much. It's why I had 3 patients this week who are recovering from a surgery, and they have all come in and said, like, I'm just tired. Yeah, because your body has to repair and rebuild all the stuff that was busted through to have this surgery happen. Of course you're tired. You should be tired. Go to sleep. I get really excited and fired up about this stuff. And the last thing I want to say about it is from an evolutionary standpoint, it makes no sense that we have to sleep. No sense. Think about it. We can't reproduce, we can't hunt, and we are super vulnerable to attack. It makes no sense why we sleep. But every human on the planet since the beginning of time has slept and has had to sleep to survive. We need it. And in the last certainly 20, probably closer to 50 years with the invention of the television and the light bulb and personal screen devices, we have totally hijacked the system in our body that relies on when we go to bed and what the quality of sleep looks and feels like. So, in the next couple of minutes, we are going to audit 2 things: your environment that you're sleeping in and your habits that make or break your sleep cycle. And we're going to start with your environment. So if at certain points during this, pause this video, go do what I tell you to do, and then come back and write them down. Okay? The first thing you have to look at from an environment standpoint is the lights. So go into your room, tell Google and Alexa, and flip your light switches to turn off all the lights, and pay attention to what light remains. For me, it was the air purifier in our room. The baby monitor has a little blue light, and our little Google plug that controls the light has a blue light on that too. I have an alarm clock where I can hit the switch and the numbers go away. My husband charges his phone next to his bed. His watch lights up during the night, drives me nuts. Pay attention to the lights that are still on. If you have a TV in your room, stop watching TV in your room. Right? But oftentimes there's a little, like an indicator light, like a little red or green light. And then see if there's a way that you can cover those up. Right? I have to keep the baby monitor in my room, but I can put a piece of electrical tape over the blue light. And now all of a sudden it's not lit up. I like having the Google turn the light on and off, so I have to deal with the blue light on the light switch, but I can put a piece of electrical tape over that or painter's tape and make it not light up anymore. There are things we can do to the environment to improve our sleep. And you're going to say to me, like, how does that little tiny blue light make all the difference? Go back to when we fell asleep in caves, right? Go back to when the sun went down and there was no light bulb. There was barely fire to keep us lit up. We slept in absolute darkness under stars and moon. Right? If we were inside of a cave or a shelter, it was absolute darkness. Get as close to that as you can in your own sleep environment. Right? In that same line, look now at the technology. So this is kind of the next step. I have this worksheet. If you guys want a copy of it, just email it to me. But look at the technology. First of all, where do you charge your phone? If you are charging your phone next to your bed, stop. Put it in another room. Stop. Put it loud so in case it rings in the middle of the night because you have a family emergency, you can hear it. But stop charging it right next to your bed. Right? Tablets and e-readers, that kind of stuff. If you have one, it should be the kind that's not backlit. You should still need a light to be able to read it and use it. Right? Or better yet, go to your library and get a physical, actual book. Imagine that. And use a reading light to read it with. Last thing to look at as far as, no, sorry, two more things to look at as far as your environment. The temperature in the room. It should be kind of cooler. You should want blankets and covers on you. That's again from an evolutionary standpoint of we didn't always have heating and air conditioning units. We slept in the conditions that were outside. So it tends to be a little cooler at night than it is during the day. So that's why they recommend that we sleep in a little bit cooler room. Pay attention to like your bedding. Is it comfortable and is it clean? I know I sleep better when I've just cleaned the sheets. Lay down on your pillow. Feel how it feels. Is it comfortable? Can you relax? Is your jaw tense? Are your shoulders up? Pay attention to how it feels. And then last, listen. Like listen to any noise. We have a little air purifier. It makes this white noise humming sound. Doesn't bother me on the lowest setting. On the highest setting, I notice it. It stimulates my brain and I don't like it. If there's a TV on in the next room, can you hear it? If someone in your family is watching TV, if someone's doing the dishes or putting the dishes away, can you hear it? Is that disruptive? Pay attention to the noise in your room. Right? Can you hear the cars that drive by? You have a loud neighbor upstairs, whatever it is. Pay attention to it. And then the last thing, the fourth thing about your room is like, it should be a relaxing space. There should be no clutter, no laundry, no bills waiting to be paid, like nothing. You should walk into that room and it should be a sanctuary, an oasis. As best you can, declutter that room. So go do an audit, take a look around and say, what's in here that doesn't have to be? And I give you the example. I love to read. I read before bed. I have this little tiny great little reading light. It I love it. I until I did this, there was like 8 books on my nightstand and 2 empty drawers in my nightstand. So what I did is I picked two, I shoved the other 6 in the drawers, and those are the 2 I read. And the other night I didn't want to read either of those 2, so I shoved them both in the drawers and I picked out another one. And now there's 1 book on my nightstand and a glass of water because I'm pregnant and I wake up and I want water. But probably not the best idea to be drinking during the middle of the night either. That's a whole nother story. So do an audit of that. Can you declutter? Can you get that stuff out of there? For me, like we have a dog. If there's hair built up in my room of dog hair, like I gotta vacuum. It will sit on my mind of like, nope, it's not clean. I gotta change it. Right? Pay attention to that stuff. Now that we've done that, let's move into the laundry, or sorry, let's move into the habit component. I was looking at the word laundry. Let's move into the habit component. So as we're gonna start with your wind down routine and really your daytime light exposure because your circadian rhythm, again, we can't fight this part of our evolutionary history. We used to wake up with the sun and go to bed with the sun. We still have the capacity to look up and say, huh, there's a lot of day left, or there's not a lot of day left, depending on where the sun is in the sky. Everyone you know can do that, who has the capacity to see, right? It's built into us, it is. So the best thing you can do to start and help your circadian rhythm is not some kind of supplement. It is $0. Go outside first thing in the morning. Expose your eyes and your skin to natural sunlight. It doesn't matter if it's cloudy out. It's the rays in that sunlight are not the kind that are going to give you cancer if you're exposed to them for long periods of time, and you're not going to expose yourself for that long anyway. Go outside for 5 minutes and be in the natural light. Then, throughout your day, I'm sitting here under fluorescent lights right now. I'm disobeying every law right now. It's 9:20 at night. Um, get outside as much as you can so that your body and your brain understand like this is how the day is progressing, right? If you sit in a cubicle under lights all day, your body has no reason to understand what the hell is going on outside and what time of day it is. That's why casinos are like how they are. So pay attention to your daily sunlight exposure and and then like your wind down routine, right? Do you even know when the sun went down? Right? Are you working so late? Now it's daylight savings here in New Jersey. 5 o'clock comes, sun's down. My body thinks it's midnight. Right? It's just how it is, but we need to expose our body and our eyes and our skin to that natural light throughout the day as often as we can. So make a note of that now. How many times did you go out in the last 2 or 3 days on purpose to like see the sun? I had a busy long day at work today. I had to make a conscious effort. I did it one time. And I know I'm literally sitting here preaching it to you. I did it one time. Now I'm a human being. I'll try to do better tomorrow. Once. How many times did you do it? Let's move into another category in our habits of what mentally is going on. What's mentally stimulating us an hour or two before bed? Are we watching TV? Are we watching Netflix? Are we watching the news? Are we scrolling on TikTok? Are we playing solitaire with real cards or online? What are we doing? Because again, your eyes' exposure to screens is telling them it's light out, it's time to be awake. Your body cannot and will not release the right hormones to go to sleep if it thinks it's time to be awake. Okay? Can you swap any of those for dimly lit physical real activities that do not involve a screen? My bet is yes. My bet is you also haven't sat down ever to identify what those things might be and then take it a step further and actually do them. So pause this. Think about what am I doing an hour before bed? What can I swap it out for? That's a more relaxing activity that doesn't put me in front of a screen. And then last, in this habit section is our food. Now, I'll tell you quick stories, right? Of like, I 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm not reaching for the celery sticks. If there's ice cream in my house, I am going to find it and I am going to eat it. And I say that because everybody I know has done some version of that at some point in their lives. And if you talk to your evolutionary ancestors, every single one of them would do the same thing. We share that part of our brain still. Hey, we don't know when we're going to eat again. There's really calorically dense sweet stuff right 5 feet away from me. Absolutely, go eat it. I understand that, so I can sit here and tell you this without judgment and without fear of judgment because that is human nature. It is absolutely human nature. So stop judging yourself for it, but let's understand that if I put the ice cream in the freezer downstairs, it's a little more effort to go get it, and maybe I only do it once a week instead of 5. The environment matters. Set yourself up so that you can be successful. If I don't have any ice cream in the house, I now have to go out and get it. I'm probably not doing that. Pay attention. Right? So now that we've done that, we've done an audit of our environment, we've done an audit of our habits. Let's pick one thing. Pick one thing. Maybe you could pick one thing from each category, but pick one thing that you can do literally tonight, literally right now. And if you cannot literally do it right now or tonight, it is too big a thing. If you gotta move the TV, maybe tonight you hide the remote. Or tonight you don't turn it on. Right? Again, if you charge your phone next to your bed, charge it in another room. Done. One thing you can literally do right now. And if you wanted to, and you think you can handle it, and a habit change that you could literally do tonight. Right? If you're used to scrolling, you stop scrolling 5 minutes before you ordinarily would, and you read a book, or you breathe, or you yoga, or you pet your dog. I don't know what it is. But it should be small enough where you can literally do it right now. Go ahead and write it down, pick your one thing. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is who benefits when you do this. I'm grumpy if I didn't sleep enough the night before. I tell everybody a quick story, and I'm not afraid to put this on the record. I had my daughter August 7th. We started soccer August 21st. We went 4-16 that season. And yes, we played hard teams and we were a good team, but we were playing hard teams. And my assistants the next year, I had a couple volunteers come on board. They said, "Well, what was the team's biggest weakness last year?" And I, without hesitating, said the coach didn't get any sleep. I had a newborn, I had a 2-week-old. Right? I was going the first 3 months of being a new mom without normal sleep. I wasn't thinking soccer strategy. And if I wasn't thinking clearly about soccer strategy. That was the biggest weakness. So who benefits from you getting enough sleep? Certainly, and listen, I wouldn't change it thing. I wouldn't change it for a thing in the world. It's important that I recognize, yeah, my team and girls probably suffered a little bit as far as the wins and losses go because coach wasn't getting enough sleep. Who benefits if you get actual adequate quality sleep? Write it down. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is what's going to throw you off the rails. These habits should be so small and so minuscule that nothing should throw them off the rails. But listen, what if they decide to do construction outside your house at night? What if you get a new noisy neighbor upstairs? All the what ifs could happen. What could go off the rails? Let's at least acknowledge it so that we're prepared for it when it happens. As I record this, it is November 24th. Thanksgiving is in 3 days. There's a lot that could go wrong, right? My primary one that I was thinking of is I'm not working Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It's hard for me to get to bed at the right time when I know I'm not working the next day. But I'm sure as heck gonna try. And I understand I might not be perfect, but if instead of going to bed at 11 o'clock, if I go to bed at 10:30 when I wanted to go to bed at 10, that's a win for me. So, um, sleep is important. To recap, sleep is extraordinarily important. It is totally normal that we have let our technology infiltrate our lives. It is also really important that we set boundaries and habits around that technology so that we can get and keep getting adequate sleep. Take one big deep breath with me here. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time, energy, and attention with me today. Keep moving and keep getting better every day.